Hello there and welcome back. Today we talk about the amazing UDO Super 6. This is the only synth keyboard that I have in my studio. I have just one controller there, the native instrument, but then I decided after a long search to buy this beast, mostly because I wanted something with a keyboard and I really love the aesthetic and the layout of it. Initially I thought this was like a Juno on steroid, but then I found out that this is a super complex and interesting synthesizer. It's a modern take, I guess, on some kind of vintage synth design. I will try to give you an overview. Of course, it's a complex instrument and I'm not a player. And I decided to go with this because I feel it really works well with pedals. So at the end of the video I will put some demos, some sound that I did. And yeah, if you want to really listen to the clear sound, pure sound of it, maybe it's better you go to check also other demo. I want to show you how this works with this kind of workflow as a base to create soundscape, ambient sounds, whatever. You know how I work by now, I hope. So before going on, a few ways you can support the page. Hit the like button right away. You can buy from the affiliate link, you can subscribe, you can become a Patreon. On Patreon, you can be in touch with me, get access of tons of more videos. And lastly, you can buy from the affiliate link. You will pay exactly the same, but I will get a tiny percentage that will really help. All right. What is the UDO Super 6? It's a 12-voice polyphonic synthesizer, which relies on two direct digital synthesis oscillator. They are digital, yes, and they go through analog filtering. So basically, these start as digital, then there's a DAC, converter from digital to analog, and then there's all the magic of the envelopes, VCF, whatever. These two are similar, but they're kind of different in the DDS1 is a high sampling oscillator. The DDS2 works in a different way. Go check the manual because, you know, I'm not the technical guy. They sound good, that's what matters. You can make them work together in many different ways, we will see through that. And there's another interesting thing, which is this binaural thing. Binaural means that when that is activated, the 12 voice will be divided in super stereo voices, which allows you to play with the ambience of the sound in how the voices are split on the right and left here, the opposite, whatever. So it's actually a true stereo synthesizer. It's pretty cool. Well, let's go through it. It doesn't have any screens, so that might be at the beginning a little daunting because you need to learn your way around it. And there's a lot of modulation possibility, which is made here with the modulation matrix, and it's pretty brilliant when you understand how it works. But first thing first, here you can load all of your patch. You have to things like these A to H are your bank. You have for each bank, for example, now in bank A, if I press again, I will be in bank A2. Same for all the other. And each bank has 8 sounds. So for example, now I'm loading A1. If I press A again, now I'm A2. These, for example, are sounds that I design. You can easily back up all the sound with a USB connection to the computer. Super simple to move all of your patch. Beautiful, huh? Of course, now there's no effects involved. The moment you add some this is how I love synths, when they work well with my pedals. And I love when pedals come together. That should be my next t-shirt. That said, you can load here, or you can load an empty patch by pressing Shift and manual. With manual, you go like in a init patch, or you can just press manual. And manual will basically let you hear what is your panel situation at the moment. Ooh. So like all the, not analog, but hardware synth without screen like this, whenever you load a patch, you don't know where the sliders and knob are. And that is something you learn to live with. At the beginning could be complex, but it's something that then you just catch things easily, and the fact that you can save a lot of patches, it's not really a problem for me. So let's start doing some sound. So again, we do Shift, manual. Now we are in init patch. Here you have the mixer in which you can move from oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. So let's listen to that. First, oscillator 1, DDS1. You have sine, sawtooth, square, triangle, sorry, noise, and then you have wavetable. When you select the wavetable here, automatically here you go in the wave modality, and you can play with all of your different wave. You can load also different wavetable. If you press again, you have 16 and another 16, so 32 different wavetable. With here, you decide your octave, and then DDS2, you have again sine, it's the same basically, and then pulse width instead of the wavetable. The two oscillator work in different way. You can have the normal way, in which you can tune them differently, or you can have this Higgs fade in which you split. Part of the keyboard will play oscillator 1 and part of the keyboard you will play oscillator 2, and it depends. This will select the split point. Pretty cool. And then you have the sync, in which basically the DDS2 is hard sync to DDS1. Okay, that's the first step. You select your oscillator, and then you move towards all the other facilities here. You have a filter. Filter is a 4-pole low-pass filter. And you have an high-pass filter here that is fixed, I think, at 500. And tracking, I think it works with the key track. I'm not sure about tracking, but whatever. I never use that because I like the full spectrum. Then you have a drive circuit, which had a very nice touch of distortion, the harmonics. So I always use it a little bit. Your resonance, and then you have your envelope for the modulator for the filter, which can work in different way. So basically, there's key track if you want, and then you can modulate the filter with LFO1, which is here. Or you can modulate with the envelope one here. Or you can modulate with DDS2. Because I forgot to mention that DDS2 can work also as an LFO, and when you put it in like this right now it doesn't emit any sound, but is a low frequency oscillator. So basically you would have 1, 2, 3 low frequency oscillator, LFO. It can also work as a sub oscillator is in this position. And it's a fixed square, I think, waveform. And also it can work in this modality in which process external audio, so you can bring any other synth and go through the filtering, etc., etc. Let's reset again. So after we go through our filter and modulate whatever we want, we have the VCA, in which you decide basically your volume, and the volume of the amplifier can be modulated by LFO. Also, you can modulate this stuff with the modular matrix, we'll see later. And then your envelope. Envelope 1 is your, I guess, free one that can be sent to many things, and envelope 2 is the one that is connected, if you do like this, to the amplifier. So you can have your snappiness, also your VCA can be controlled as a gate only, or there's this fixed form if you want to, for example, use the envelope 2 for other reason. I don't know. So this is the synth part. Now you have all the other interesting part here. Let's start with the LFO. LFO, you have here, you select the different waveforms, and also you have an high frequency, meaning that this can work as an oscillator too if you want, and can be a fixed or can be tracked with keys. So it's interesting if you want to add another oscillator to that. That's too complex for me. It can work in free, once, and reset. So basically it would reset every time that you press. For example, now you hear, now it's almost, it's working as an oscillator. If you track it, so you can create this interesting sound. I forgot to mention, if you like a sound, to just save it, you press a button for a few seconds and it will be saved. Super simple. All right, let's go back to the LFO. Simple. You can have a delay, meaning that every time you press a button, if it's reset, it will start after a while. And then there's this lighter left and right phase that is basically pan the signal of the LFO into stereo field. As you can hear, it's sort of chorusy vibe. Very nice. Then follow it by the DDS modulator. This is the part that modulates the oscillator. Here you modulate the 1, 2, or both with the pitch. It can be the LFO or again the envelope, which we can actually also loop. Then super interesting part is this one. If you use this, the super part, it's when you take the voice, the 6th voice, and you open up and detune it a little. So you can be in off, half power, and full power. Let's listen to full power. Let's put in hold so we can hear everything. Also with this you can modify the pulse width of the DS2 and it can be modulated by the LFO. I'm distorting something, yeah. So things start getting more complex as we go. We take care of the panel here. Now we have another LFO here, which basically it's controlling the aftertouch and the key pressure. As you can hear, because it's tied to this slider. And as you can hear, it's gonna be triggered whenever I press, but also it can be always on. So with these two sliders, I can decide the filtering of the oscillator or also the tuning of it. These can be redirected in many other places here. We'll see also that. And last thing, did I put the autofocus? Yes, okay. For a moment I thought I wasn't in focus. Am I? Let me go close. Yes, I am. For arpeggiator, we'll check later. Voice assign, basically you have solo, legato, and then unison, which play all of the things together, and then poly 1, binaural, see how the sounds opens up, and poly 2, difference between them, not a clue. This is not binaural, and this is binaural. Sounds really open up. The arpeggiator sequencer will see that. Modulator, let's go to the effects part. You have a chorus. Two different chorus that can be worked together, Juno style. And then you have a delay. The delay can be synced. If you press this button, means that the delay and all of the other part will be synced to the LFO. Beautiful. Made it that on purpose, and that's it. This is basically almost everything, but there's the modulation matrix. How does it work? At the beginning I was like, couldn't really understand, but now It's super simple. You press the mod assign. Now you have all of this line here, which is DDS, 2, LFO, envelope, envelope 1, velocity, aftertouch, blah, blah, blah. So you have 8 more modulator that can be assigned to 8 other destination, for example, LFO1, cross modulation, and so on. And how? You just press one button, press the other destination. Let's say I want to modulate LFO1 with LFO2, so I press it. Once you press, you decide the mod amount. Could be positive when it goes here, negative when it goes here. So now this guy modulate the LFO, as you can see. That is one way. The other way, I can press the source and then press any of the panel knobs and slider and assign the modulation there. If, as they say in the, I love they say, if you choose an illegal combination, nothing will happen. But if the combination is legal, let's say I want to modulate LFO 2, I want to modulate the envelope level, so I press move this, and here it is. You had that animation. Now I have to decide the amount, so let's put negative now, and now I have also the LFO modulating here. You don't hear too much, but whatever. So in this way, you understand you have a lot of possibility to modulate, and there's a lot of connection you can do and get extremely complex, which I never go, but whatever. So that said, let's take care of the arpeggiator and then we do some sound. Let's clear everything. Again, shift, manual. Let's turn on the arpeggiator. Super simple. How's it work? Let's put it on hold. The tempo can be synced to something outside if you want, of course. I like to create sound usually putting something like that and then start with this DS1, for example. Pick a sound. I put it in sync. Let's start modulate stuff. Let's add the DDS, the tuning. Let's modulate the cross modulation with LFO2, for example. So I go in mod assign, I press LFO2 and then cross mode, and now I had things and I put this in on. Let's put a little less. Just a tiny bit. Whether we like that or not, we don't care. And whatever, this is beautiful? No. Another interesting thing, whenever you do patches, for example, now I modify the patch I was and it starts blinking. And I can always go back to what it was. and know, oh, this was cool, and now I'm here. And maybe it sucks, so I don't want to save it, you know? Whatever. This is pretty cool. Let's pick something like that. So, for example, the sequencer works in a different way. You select sequencer and start recording. The moment you press the button, you just and then you can play. If you want to change any step, you press the button and input another note. And then you can decide where the slides, accent, rest, and the length of the sequence. Could be 64 steps. I really love how it works with the auto, with a lot of compression, getting so dirty. Nice. We can go through some other patches. I promise it sounds amazing without effects too. Also, it has this very beautiful vintagey, Juno-ish kind of sound. I really like the fact that I can switch to this simple envelope sometimes, so I can go through that and then something like this. Okay, that's enough for today. Before going to the few demos that I crafted skillfully for you, my opinion on the Super 6, and also let's address the elephant in the room. I bought these a month before the Gemini, the new beast, came out. Was I pissed? A little. I mean, I would have probably go with that one. Do I need that? No. That one is two Super 6 together. It's amazing, of course. I tried it at Superboot. It's bigger, way bigger, so I like the fact that this form factor is more convenient to me. And it has a ribbon control. Definitely, if you have the space and the budget, I would definitely go with that one because it it's probably 24 voice. I don't know. It's insane, the complexity and the things you can do with that. But this for me is more than enough. I have exactly what I needed, a polyphonic synth that cover the vintage kind of tones, but had a lot of modulation source, modulation destination, and with the modern digital oscillator you have that also versatility. Plus, you can upload in the machine your wavetables. So it's something that can make a lot of interesting sounds. I hope this was interesting for you. Now let's go through the different demos. Please hit the like button. Please support the channel, whatever way you can do. But I know you guys love me so far, so I'm thankful for your support in general, and I'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.